This was the scene on Thursday at the site of the world's largest climate summit. A fire broke out near the Chinese and Turkish pavilions, an area where delegates were sharing information about their country's climate ambitions. Summit participants were evacuated as firefighters handled the blaze.
The COP was meant to end on Friday, but we're not too sure at this point in time where that stands.
The fire was extinguished, and the material they used to cover the pavilion is hard to burn.
UN representatives said at least a dozen people were being treated for smoke inhalation. Before the incident, the halls of COP30 were abuzz with pressure and speculation as negotiators scrambled to shape the final outcome.
We are down to the wire, and the world is watching Belem.
None of the challenges on the table are new, and neither are the voices urging leaders to stop circulating the same arguments. It's something the UN's climate chief Simon Steele has warned about for months heading into Belem. He repeatedly said that the world could not afford tactical delays, or what he calls performative diplomacy.
Now's the time to roll up our sleeves, come together, and get the job done.
It's in that spirit the Brazilian President Lula da Silva has been invoking mutirão, a call for every country to finally agree on a credible roadmap to transform the way we produce and use energy, and on protecting forests like the Amazon, one of the world's most powerful carbon sinks, which can only keep storing billions of tons of CO2 if they're left standing. The summit has also pushed issues that rarely sit on top of the agenda, including how the climate crisis deepens poverty, racism, and conflicts. Ukraine, for one, is now seeking $44 billion from Russia for war-damaged forested areas. One Dutch carbon accounting study found that 237 million tons of additional CO2 equivalent emissions have been generated since Kremlin forces started their invasion in 2022.
We are trying to identify the legal approaches, legal mechanism, how we could make Russia accountable for all this damage.
As COP30 enters its final stretch, all eyes are on whether nations can agree on a pathway to phase out oil and gas, or at the very least accelerate the transition away from them. Stronger science-based measures to adapt to worsening climate shocks like storms and droughts, and a real breakthrough on climate finance, the issue that has stalled so many COPs before, and the one developing nations say is essential for any meaningful progress. But Thursday's blaze underscores what many here have been saying all week. Even at a conference built around cooperation, it doesn't take much for the process to be thrown off course. And with political divides widening inside the negotiating rooms, the question now is whether Lula's spirit of mutirão can survive both the disruption and the final hours of these talks. Reagan Des Vignes, TRT World, Belem, Brazil.